You already know it's a Pyrite Town Punks production.
This is the official Ore stream with Nnico Iosi hosting, Ore admin, and of course I'm providing comment. Round 2 is going to be Hunter versus Nnico Iosi. So this is going to be cool. We have two more very accomplished trainers. I faced Hunter in Yokohama, but Tellu, would you like to talk about Hunter's achievements by any chance? Since I know Hunter is very, very active in the community and very, very, very active on Twitter.
Okay, Hunter has been playing 3rd gen after two or three times of the cutoff, so I don't know, 7-8 years or a little more than that.
Ooh, and long time.
Yeah, so Kudofu usually plays single battles, but and recently we haven't done any doubles, but a couple years ago we did doubles twice or 30 times, and when there's a double tournament, Hunter always ended choosing to enter the double format, so I guess he has some kind of, knowledge to doubles and really active. There's in 3rd gen, there's not only double singles or oracular format, but there's a bunch of other ways of playing, playing with only Ruby and Sapphire format, and
ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so he plays a bunch of these formats, and he RNGs and breeds a bunch of Pokemon. So the reason why he was able to battle in Worlds was because he had level 100 Pokemons, or playing in tournament using Kyogre and Rayquaza and Groudon.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah,
that's the reason why. That's the reason why he had all these level 100s to be able to battle Grandma.
Yeah, those were trained for Rayquaza and Kyogre format, but that's the reason why he has a bunch of Pokemon in his.
And they were very facing Hunter in Yokohama is was using, I think, what's called the standard Snorlax that was used in this one tournament, one of the Kudo offs. Peanuts, I believe Peanuts made the team. It's Snorlax, but it has 196 speed EVs. and facing Hunter, I was like, oh no, I need to get big damage, and I just one KO'd the Snorlax, and it's because the Snorlax was running so much speed. We'll see if that happens in today's game, but yeah, Hunter. Active player, it seems, and actually has quite a few double live matchups. So Hunter, very strong player from Japan, facing against Nnico Iosi, who is debatably the best player in all of Ore, besides me. Nnico Iosi, one of the founders, one of the 3 admins, and basically, if Akiak is the founder, Nico's the one that really started, because all Nnico would do all day is ping every single day, hey, who wants to battle, who wants to battle, who wants to battle, and then I showed up and I just play against Nnico every day. Nnico was also the person who organized the very first Ore Cup, and the Ore Cups were his idea. Nnico has a long list of accomplishments, a lot of second places in Ore Cup, and has won our largest tournament so far, Ore Cup 10, the 64-player Generation 3 tournament. In addition to having the highest ladder rating and having possibly the most amount of top cuts in this format, Nnico also got 2nd place at a VGC tournament last year, in 2023, using a Palafin team. So, very strong player. But yeah, that's the introduction. Are you ready, Nnico? Yeah, you can mute and I'll just start. Just make sure you can't hear. Hey Nnico, can you hear me? Did you know I'm better than you at this format? Okay, Nnico would have said something. All right, so I think we're ready. So Japan versus the world, match 2. Hunter versus Nnico, game 1. Good luck, trainers. All right. So, looking at the trainers' teams, Nnico using double Lattes, Metagross, Snorlax, Moltres instead of Zapdos. Sorry, that's Hunter's team. Double Lattes, Metagross, Snorlax, Moltres instead of Zapdos, and a Rhydon, presumably to protect the Moltres Lightning Rod, and Nnico going with standard Meta Lati Zap, Tauros as its normal type, Starmie, and Persian. Have you ever seen a Persian before, Tellu?
Nope.
Persian is Nico's favorite Pokemon, and he tried using it at the beginning of the format, and it was terrible. But I think last week, he went on the ladder and faced me in a game, and I was using one of the strongest teams I have called Fundamentals. And Nnico went 4-0 against me using Persian. All he did was click Hypnosis, Fake Out, Hypnosis, Double Edge, Hypnosis, Double Edge, and I lost. 4-0. And I didn't respect Persian, but it is very important to note that Persian is one of the fastest sleep Pokemon. Even though Hypnosis has 55 accuracy, or 60, I forget, one or the other in Gen 3. I think it's 55. Hypnosis can shut down an entire Pokemon, and if you get lucky, you can get 4 or 5 turns of sleep, and that's basically worse than a KO. You'd rather have your Pokemon be KO'd than put to sleep for 5 turns. So Persian threatening the Hypnosis, very scary depending on if Hunter has Lum on any of his Pokemon. However, Nnico doesn't know where the Lum Berry is. Starmie also very fast at base 115 speed. Both it and Persian actually outrun the Latias, so Persian does not necessarily have to go for Hypnosis. You can go for Double Edge Ice Beam into Latias and KO it. Starmie can threaten the Hydro Pump and the Moltres and KO it. Persian can Fake Out, and Starmie can deal big damage. I think Nnico, just on virtue of having faster Pokemon, is in a very threatening position, and Hunter has to make interesting adjustments, like hard reads. Has to predict whether Nnico is going to go Fake Out, or Ice Beam Double Edge, or Fake Out Hydro Pump, or Random Hypnosis, and just has to hard call the turn. I don't think there is a safest move for Hunter, just because Persian and Starmie are so fast. On the flip side, this Moltres can just one-hit KO the Persian, because Persian has basically no bulk. The Latias can Thunder Wave the team, making Starmie and Persian, which have relatively low bulk, into taking away their one usefulness, which is their speed. And there still is the question of what's in the back for Hunter. If it's a Snorlax, I think it could just safely take on Starmie and Persian. And the last thing to note is we play with Sleep Claws in Ore, because the in-game mode does not permit the AI to sleep more than one Pokemon. So Nnico, for as powerful as Hypnosis is, can just threaten the Hypnosis once, and then that's it. And Hunter is free to just play around it and just use the other 3 Pokemon to take on Nnico's team. With turn 1, we have the Moltres switching out for a Snorlax, predicting a Hydro Pump. The Persian goes for a Fake Out, and the Starmie critical hits the Latias. This is big. Starmie cannot KO Latias. It cannot deal 85% damage with Ice Beam. Only, usually with no bulk, Starmie would deal 50%-ish, maybe 55% to a no bulk Latias. If Latias has a lot of bulk, it will deal 45%, maybe less. And so with that Ice Beam critical hit, Nnico just gained a KO, and Hunter literally has no compensation. No damage was dealt that turn because of the switch to Snorlax. Latias is gone, which means that the team is more prone to Earthquake from Tauros and Metagross. In exchange, Hunter's position doesn't look too bad. The Metagross resists Persian Double Edge. I don't think Persian has hidden power fire or anything. Starmie can only 2-hit KO Metagross if Metagross is might be able to 2-hit KO Metagross, but I don't think Starmie Persian can KO Metagross. I don't think Starmie Persian can KO Snorlax. And Hunter is threatening an explosion. Either from Metagross or Snorlax is threatening big damage with possible Snorlax Double Edge or Shadow Ball. We do not know if the Metagross is Choice Band. We do not know if the Snorlax is Choice Band. So we're going to see, since Nnico can't KO the Metagross or the Snorlax, then maybe just Nnico has to go for big damage and then Hypnosis and then play a slow game. Does Hunter have a way to win?
I don't know. Critical hit.
I think that Starmie might be like holding like a scope lens. Maybe it has Lucky Chant or something because it just got a second critical hit. And what I said about not being able to KO Metagross, that assumes that's no critical hit. Metagross just got KO'd. I've heard from Akiak not to delay anymore, so I think it's safe to just say it as the turn goes. We have Hypnosis onto the Snorlax, making it useless. It's burned 1 out of 1 turn of sleep, and it can be asleep for 1 to 5 turns. This Moltres is threatened by 80% chance of Hydro Pump when if it hits, it 1 KOs presumably, and this Persian can go Double Edge onto Snorlax for free. So Hunter's odds look bleak. Perhaps Protect with Moltres and Self-Destruct with Snorlax. Get rid of Starmie Persian and then hope that Nnico's back is like Metagross, like Zapdos. But we just see Starmie go for Hydro Pump. It does not miss. There's no Protect Explosion here. Hydro Pump doesn't miss. It's over. It's over. Nnico has 4 Pokemon against Snorlax, and I do not have faith in Snorlax to take out 4 Pokemon. It simply does not have enough turns. Despite its bulk, it would not be able to get enough. It can't, unless it gets critical hits, and Nnico makes a mistake and clicks Hypnosis or something, and it misses, and Hydro Pump misses. It's just too little too late. 4v1, the Snorlax is not finding its way around. And with game, and that's basically game 1 over. Nnico just 4-0'd Hunter with a Persian. In fact, Hunter only got 1 attack off. Oh wait. Hunter got no attacks off.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
It was all double edge recoil, right?
Yeah, every Pokemon was critical hit and KO'd, and he just switched Pokemon.
That's actually really nutty. This is really scary, and I'm half tempted to say that Persian is a legitimate threat. We have it ranked. Actually, I don't think we have it ranked. I think we ranked it D or something and removed it off the list. But we're going to be going into game 2. Where's game 2? Oh, they have to confirm. Okay. But anyway, with that, I think there's not much Hunter could have done. Those were 2 critical hits that happened at the worst possible times. Simply put, Hunter got unlucky. And this is why we play best of 3s in ORA. In fact, we usually play best of 5 for whenever possible, but time restrictions usually keep us to best of 3 in tournaments, in early stages of tournaments. But luck happens. A lot of Generation 3 is just speed ties and critical hits. Round 2, game 2. And now we have to see how Hunter is going to adjust to dealing with a Persian. And so it depends on what Hunter has as the Lumberry. If there's a Lumberry on Hunter's team, he should be using it as the lead and then hoping to surprise Persian with Hypnosis. I do think Metagross Snorlax is also a powerful lead here just because it would not be able to get KO'd by Persian plus Starmie. So you don't have to worry about reading your opponent, you just click moves and you deal damage. Starmie especially does not have, it has a strong matchup versus Moltres and against Rhydon and to an extent Latias, but Snorlax just walls Starmie. And if Persian has to commit to a 60% Hypnosis onto Snorlax and waste a turn trying to prevent Snorlax from doing anything, that's 1 free turn for Lati to do something. So I think we'll see how Hunter can adjust to this, but that Persian is very scary here with Starmie and Tauros also at high speed. I do not believe that Rhydon will be making an appearance though. Starmie and just looks too scary. I suppose if you're very creative with like predictions, maybe. But not having Zapdos is a really big deal for Hunter. Normally, Starmie's biggest problem is that Zapdos is on almost every team and threatens a 1 KO on Starmie, and usually it's a trade. Ice Beam deal 60, 80%, and this Zapdos KOs back. In this case, Hunter does not have a Zapdos. So Nnico is free to just lead Starmie Tauros or Starmie Persian again, and just deal big damage against 4/6 of Hunter's team. And Metagross and Snorlax are the two things preventing Nnico from running over the team with Starmie. I believe Hunter might just have to lead Snorlax in order to take on the Starmie. Perhaps Latias Snorlax, because Latias has the bulk, maybe can threaten a Thunder Wave. And we're seeing a lot of support from Japanese players for Hunter. That was, again, I think the critical hits just sort of made the game very unfortunate, and I would like to see more of an exchange between the players. So we'll see what happens, but that Persian looking very, very scary. Speaking of Rhydon and the lack of Zapdos, Rhydon, if it weren't for the Starmie, the Rhydon would be in a good position to take on the Zapdos, but many of us in Ore now run Hidden Power Grass Zapdos, so that makes Marowak usually a more preferred option over Rhydon. And we've got our leads. We have Starmie Persian again from Nnico, and Hunter opting instead to go Latios Metagross. This is a nice adjustment, because barring another critical hit, that Starmie can't KO the Metagross can threaten Explosion, or just Meteor Mash, possible 1-KO onto Persian. The Latios may have Thunderbolt to deal big damage to Starmie. Perhaps the Metagross has Shadow Ball, and if it's Choice Band, and can KO the Starmie. And if Latios or Metagross has Lumberry, the Persian is very useless here. So I think this is a nice adjustment, definitely better than having a Moltres on the field. And Metagross Latios is just a very safe lead. And Nnico can't deal big damage to Metagross either. He can't double edge into it. He can Ice Beam double edge into Latios, but then Hunter can simply protect. So it is now on Hunter to call what Nnico is going to do. This is a very scary position. Again, Starmie Persian can double into Latios, or can fake out Latios and then Hydro Pump Metagross, or can Hypnosis somebody. Latios goes for the Protect, and Nnico, instead of going for a fake out onto the Latios, goes for fake out onto Metagross and substitutes the Starmie and exploits the protecting Latios. In this case, Nnico got a really good call, faking out the Pokemon that did not protect, and with the substitute is now just very much threatening. Now it has higher longevity. Hunter can no longer go for an Explosion because it would just hit into substitute, and can't go for a cheeky Protect plus Explosion to possibly trade. So now Hunter's position is very difficult. The Latios, having just protected, is now susceptible to Ice Beam plus Double Edge, double into it, and the Metagross can't hurt the Starmie. If it has Shadow Ball, it'll break the substitute, which is fine. But it can't go for an Explosion. It could go for Earthquake, possibly. But in this case, Nico's safest move is simply to double into Latios and gain momentum by removing a tempo from Hunter's side. By, if KOing Latios, then that's one less attack Hunter gets for the turn. And if Hunter switches, that's one less attack Hunter gets for the turn. And if Hunter protects, that's one less attack Hunter gets for the turn. So Hunter has to make that decision, sacrifice the Latios, switch out, and then take whatever damage on the switch in, or just go for a 50-50 with the Protect, and then maybe go for an Earthquake. We do not know what this Metagross has yet. Perhaps it has Shadow Ball to take on Starmie, but Nnico's substitute Starmie is really, really good. And Latios going for the 50-50 instead of either sacrificing the Latio, and it fails, and Nnico just makes the very safe move, Ice Beam plus Double Edge, gets the KO, reduces the number of the damage turns out, the damage output Hunter can put out, and Hunter going for the Earthquake does not KO the Persian, indicating that this Metagross is not Choice Band. It is some other item, and it breaks the substitute, but not killing the Persian means there's an additional turn for the Persian to bother Hunter again. Again, with possible Hypnosis into the Metagross if it doesn't have Lumberry, with possible double up, maybe Double Edge plus Hydro Pump to call a Latias switch in. This position looks very difficult for Hunter because The Moltres switch-in was definitely for that Metagross going for Earthquake to not hurt itself, but now Moltres is compromised. It get KO'd by Starmie 80% of the time. So this Hydro Pump, if it hits the Moltres, that would remove it. And instead of going for Hydro Pump, Nnico risks a lower accuracy move, puts the Moltres to sleep, and tries to deal damage to the Metagross, basically saying, hey, this Metagross is probably the bigger threat against my team. I'm going to go Hydro Pump it because Moltres can't damage Starmie. Gets the very, the good Hypnosis hit. And that Earthquake not KOing the Starmie, getting rid of Persian, but now the Starmie has the Patea Berry to threaten damage. And Nnico gets a free switch into Zapdos, which is now threatening a KO onto Metagross and is threatening a 1-hit KO into Moltres. Hunter, depending if he has Rhydon in the back or not, might be able to pull off a switch, but this sleeping Moltres is not in a very good position right now. It needs the one-turn Wake Up, and it needs to be able to threaten the damage, maybe Hidden Power Dark or Hidden Power Grass. This Starmie looking really scary though. It can just keep going for Hydro Pump and Zapdos can go for Thunderbolt. Either Hydro Pump Moltres, KO it, and then Thunderbolt Metagross KO it, or the other way around. Thunderbolt Metagross, just to guarantee it doesn't get KO'd, and the Hydro Pump the Metagross. Perhaps even calling in a Rhydon slot. Nnico's in a very commanding position, and Hunter needs to rely on Hydro Pump missing in order to get back into the game. Needs a Hydro Pump miss, and needs a one-turn Wake, because this Zapdos is in a very excellent position. Hunter switching out the Moltres for the Snorlax just so that way it can tank the Hydro Pump, but Nnico safely Thunderbolting the Metagross just in case the Metagross goes for, say, an Explosion, and there is no Rhydon on Hunter's team. This Zapdos is now free to Thunderbolt for the rest of the game. It's Snorlax and Moltres versus 3 Pokemon, and the Snorlax is just taking so much damage from this +1 Starmie. I think Hunter will have to get a very lucky, maybe Wake Up, Protect Moltres, Self-Destruct, survive Starmie and Zapdos, Self-Destruct, take him out, and then if there's Metagross in the back, Hunter can get back into the game. Or Hunter maybe just KOs Starmie and KOs Protect Stalls and then KOs Zapdos and wins because of leftovers. We'll see how Hunter can hustle this game. And we have a Hydro Pump KO. We have a very safe substitute just to cover a Self-Destruct. And we now have a leftovers war between Snorlax and Zapdos. And now that Moltres is removed from the game, Hunter can no longer go for Self-Destruct. And we know that Snorlax does not have Quick Claw, which means Nnico can simply just keep clicking attacks and can win 3v1. I believe this game is over, and I'm going to call it now. There's no Quick Claw to save Hunter because Leftovers has been revealed, and I believe this is going to be another 2-0 victory for Team World. Lefties. And with that, Starmie KOs Snorlax to take Game 2. And now Team World is up 2-0 versus Team Japan. We have our next matchup coming up. But right now, Sabaku and Miskino, a very good exchange. However, with Hunter did try, but the critical hits were very strong in Game 1. And in Game 2, Nnico simply made very strong plays. Again, showing why he is the second best player in this format, possibly the best. And using the very innovative Persian, which has not been seen ever. Very strong games, and congratulations to both players for their efforts.